Component number one is activation and preparation. So what this basically means, it's a joint awareness, so it's knowing what your joints are doing, and it's getting the muscles around those joints to do their job properly. So a very simple example is maintaining this position whilst standing up straight. Because what happens with a lot of people with lordosis, if they go to stand up straight, they just exaggerate their lordosis more. So what we need to be able to do is get that position, so we've got the abdominals working, we've got the glutes working, that sets the position of the spine and of the pelvis. Once we've got that, that starts to build our mind-muscle connection. Now we can do this in a sort of a lying position. So again, one of the examples would be just to lift your arm up and know, as you come up, what is the point at which you then start to lift here. Because what we don't want to do is that. We don't want to lift here. What we want to be able to do is get to the same position, but we activate abdominals, we activate glutes. That will help hold all of this in position. What we can then do is get the arm in that position. Now, that is going to highlight areas of tightness, because what the body wants to do is just get the arm over the head, and it will do whatever it needs to do with the spine and the pelvis to get there. But what we need to be able to do is teach the body, no, this is what I want you to do with your spine, this is what I want you to do with your hips, and now you can get your arm there. Now obviously the goal of this is not to get the arm over the head, the goal is to get this active and this, but this is your sort of distraction to say, I want this overhead, but I want to maintain this here as well. So what we need to be able to do is get these muscles active. So that's the first part. And then that's the activation part. The prep part is just you knowing when you're in that position. So when we come up into a stretch, for example, and we put our arm over our head to stretch through psoas or the hip flexors, what we're not doing is just going into this position and going like that. Because what we want to be able to do is go hips, tummy, and then up. And then you can start to feel a proper stretch. Not just, I'm doing what you're telling me, my arm's over the head, I'm on one knee, which is exactly what you're telling me, but it's not quite. Because we want this active, we want this in position, and then we want this lifted. So the prep and the activation, so the movement of the body, which is going to try and pull your spine out of position, which is the awareness part, and the activation to hold it in place is all about what's going on up here, and you being conscious of your movement and being conscious of where your spine and where your pelvis are and what they're doing. And that's all that's for. So the first part of any workout is just to prepare your body, prepare your mind, and get the right muscles active, so as you go through the workout, it's much easier to get all of that sort of in your head, if you will, and then you'll perform the exercises much more easily.